Hey guys, I hope you're all having a great day and welcome back to another video. So I was watching A New Hope recently and I got to this point and the idea of this video suddenly dawned on me. What if Vader realised Leia was force sensitive?
Her resistance to the mind probe is considerable. It'll be some time before we can extract any information from her.
Before we get into it, if you're new to the channel, remember to smash that subscribe button, and if you enjoyed today's video, it'd be great if you could leave a like. So, after leaving Leia's prison cell, Vader is left with the suspicion that something is different about the rebel princess. Such resistance to the mind probe was something he hasn't witnessed since the early days of Order 66, where he would often capture Jedi and interrogate them to reveal the location of other Jedi throughout the galaxy. Meanwhile, just as it happened in the film, Luke and the droids and Obi-Wan, they all meet up on Tatooine, who then meet Han and Chewie in the Mos Eisley Cantina with the plan to travel to Alderaan. Around the Death Star, Vader makes his way to Tarkin and informs him that he was unable to extract the information required from Leia using the mind probe, as her resistance to it was considerable. The conversation here would go just as it did in the film, with Vader force choking the Imperial officer before leaving. Once Vader leaves, he returns to his chambers and reports back to the Emperor via hologram.
Her resistance to the mind probe was significant. I haven't witnessed such resistance in it since the early days of the Empire.
Perform the test, Lord Vader. If what you suspect is correct, she could be a powerful enemy.
As you wish, Master.
Tarkin's plan for demonstrating the power of the Death Star is postponed due to Leia undergoing tests, on command of the Emperor, although with the idea still in mind, they arrive in the Alderaan system for preparation. A short time later, Vader arrives at Leia's cell with two stormtroopers and instructs them to take her to the medical bay under strict interrogation protocols. Tarkin can be seen at this point staring into the abyss of space, getting frustrated at the delay, not understanding why the Emperor would order such unnecessary tests. Vader arrives in the medical bay where Leia is restrained, only being able to move her head. Vader proceeds towards her whilst Leia also struggles to break free.
Your resistance is impressive, dear Princess. You may have more importance than you realise.
That means nothing from you, you foul creature. The stormtrooper picks up a syringe from the side table and takes a sample of Leia's blood, which Vader then instructs the two stormtroopers, who were still standing guard, to take the sample to the Emperor directly for testing. Once Vader and Leia are alone, Vader reaches out his hand.
Let's see what you're really hiding.
Leia's head flies back into the headrest as she struggles and groans in pain. Vader is looking into Leia's mind and seeing images, blurred moments of her childhood in Alderaan, before a warm, familiar feeling falls upon Vader, a feeling he hasn't felt in a long time. Stunned and confused, Vader continues to reach into Leia's mind to find out more. Vader begins to see blurred outlines. He's seeing the very moments of when Leia was first born, before her eyesight had ever really developed. Instantly, Vader can recognise the energy from this figure standing above a newborn Leia, as his old master, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Vader instantly pulls back in anger.
So you know Obi-Wan?
You served my father in the Clone Wars, not that you'd know much about heroes.
Your perception of heroes is misguided, Rebel.
Vader calls for more troopers to arrive and informs them to keep Leia on a maximum security lockdown until he returns. No one is to come in or out, blasters will be set to stun. Once leaving the room, Vader is conflicted. Leia's approximate age would put her at birth around the same time as the Jedi betrayal. Vader doesn't remember anyone being pregnant around Anakin or Obi-Wan other than Padme. Vader leaves the medical bay and boards a ship bound for Coruscant to pay the Emperor a visit. The Emperor has already felt the rising conflict within Vader, so is prepared for his imminent arrival. On his journey to Coruscant, Vader's thoughts start to lean closer and closer to the possibility that Leia is the daughter of Anakin and Padme. With each passing second, the conflict within him grows. Could this really be their daughter? Did the Emperor lie to him when he asked if Padme was alright?
Where is Padme? Is she safe? Is she all right?
It seems in your anger, you killed her.
Vader lands on Coruscant and makes his way to the Imperial Palace in search of the Emperor. He makes his way into Palpatine's office to find him seated, chair turned and looking out the window.
Lower your weapon. You are no match for my power.
She was alive, I felt it.
Briefly, yes, but she died of your hand.
Vader looks down at his blade and deactivates his saber.
I have searched her mind. I was unable to locate anything of importance, but she does have connections to Obi-Wan.
The rebel princess is force sensitive. Our tests confirmed it. For her to resist your power, she must have great potential. She could be extremely powerful with the right training. You must act quick, Lord Vader. A rescue mission is imminent. The rebels will want their symbol of hope back. As for Obi-Wan, ensure you eliminate him this time.
Vader leaves and boards his ship to return to the Death Star with a clear mission in mind, but also a great deal of conflict. Does he really want Leia to end up the way he has, another pawn for the Emperor? Would Padme have wanted this? Of course she wouldn't have. Meanwhile, our heroes have entered the Alderaan system. They encounter a single TIE fighter just as in the film, and attempt to follow it and destroy it to maintain their secrecy. Before long, our heroes are stunned by what they're seeing. A space station the size of a moon, eerily looking over their destination, appears from the horizon. Immediately, Obi-Wan can sense Vader's presence on board, which convinces him Leia must be on board too. Han disagrees with the idea of attempting to board the space station as it wasn't part of their original deal, and begins to proceed cautiously down to the planet, before the Death Star begins to pull them in. Vader, only just recently boarding the Death Star prior to the Falcon's arrival, immediately feels the presence of his old master yet again, and instructs the troopers to transfer Leia to his private quarters, off books with Vader following suit for security. Once in the chambers, Vader instructs the troopers to remain outside.
Padme,
Leia looks shocked and confused.
that is your mother, is it not? Anakin Skywalker was your father.
Your mind games won't work on me, Lord Vader. The rebellion will not succumb to the tyranny of the Emperor and his attack dogs set upon the galaxy.
Padme Amidala was my wife.
Leia's eyes begin to water. Leia felt this. Once Vader went inside her mind, the two were briefly connected, with Leia also seeing glimpses of Vader's past. Initially, Leia shut out these thoughts and blamed them on Vader's mind games. She fought these feelings with every fibre of her being, but deep down, she knew it was true. She couldn't keep him away.
You are my daughter.
Vader releases Leia from the restraints just before a transmission comes in, informing Vader of a security breach. Vader knows it's Obi-Wan. He immediately leaves, locking Leia in her chambers. Vader makes his way to Tarkin, who upon Vader's arrival also receives a transmission.
He is here.
Obi-Wan Kenobi? What makes you think so?
A tremor in the Force. The last time I felt it was in the presence of my old master.
Surely he must be dead by now.
Don't underestimate the Force.
The Jedi are extinct. Their fire has gone out of the universe. You, my friend, are all that's left of their religion. Yes.
We have an emergency alert in detention block AA-23.
Obi-Wan successfully deactivates the station tractor beam, allowing the Falcon to make an escape. R2 believes he has located a princess by accessing the Death Star database in detection blocks AA-23. Luke goes to rescue the princess but realises the cell is empty. Luke continues his search and by luck, or maybe more, Luke eventually locates Leia inside Vader's quarters. After a shootout with the troopers, Han and Chewie encounter Luke and the princess, and for this part their story continues the same way it does in the movies, including ending up in a trash compactor. Meanwhile, Obi-Wan encounters Vader in the corridor of the Death Star.
The Jedi's failure continues. You were wise to hide her from me.
I've been waiting for you, Obi-Wan. We meet again at last. The circle is now complete. When I left you, I was but the learner. Now I am the master.
Only a master of evil, Darth.
Vader, still feeling conflicted on the discovery of Leia, bringing him emotionally closer to Padme and the life he used to have when he was a Jedi, is distracted during his duel with Obi-Wan beginning to take the upper hand. Leia, standing with Luke and Han, feels the conflict within Vader. She knows her father inside that metal suit, buried deep down within, was still alive. She can't stand by and watch her father be killed, no matter how evil he is. She holds out on a sliver of hope for Anakin, just as Padme once did. Leia grabs the blaster from Luke's hand and fires it in Obi-Wan's direction, skimming a trooper and coming between Vader and Obi-Wan, causing each of them to take a step back. A blast out breaks loose with Leia caught in the middle of it. Vader rushes over to her whilst deflecting blaster fire aimed at the both of them with his sabre. Obi-Wan takes down a few stormtroopers, making his way back to the Falcon, when the heroes board the Falcon and leave the Death Star. Vader orders the troopers to take Leia to the medical bay to tend to a light blaster graze on her leg, whilst looking into the distance as the Falcon makes the jump to hyperspace. So I hope you enjoyed today's video just as much as I enjoyed making it, guys. There's plenty more on this story that I'd actually really like to do, and I'd like to cover it in another video. So let me know if you'd like to see that, and let me know in the comments anything you would have done differently. If you're new to the channel, remember to subscribe, and if you liked today's video, it'd be great if you can leave a like on it as well. But until the next time, may the Force be with you.